I feel like we should start with J Church, and then we'll work our way up to lower
Yeah,
class brats. And the reason is because I got some questions for you, buddy.
I got some
So
answers for you, buddy.
let's go, dude. What's up, guys? So we just partnered up with Dead and Buried Inc. out of LA. So if you have a band or a small business, maybe an event coming up, and you need merch, hit these dudes up. There's a link in the description. If you mention that you got there via the Punk Rock Review, you'll get 10% off of your first order. But it's super high quality screen printing, embroidery. They do shirts, hats, hoodies, skateboards, bags, whatever you want printed, they can handle it, all right? They're also a small business and they're part of the punk rock community. They're my friends. So this is a partnership that's very important to me. If you need merch, hit these dudes up, check them out. You won't be disappointed, all right? Back to the video. So it doesn't really give me a month or anything, but One Mississippi was released in 2000. It
Uh huh.
is 26 songs and an absolutely absurd hour and 12 minutes and change.
It's a long record.
Bro, look,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
I
yeah. I know.
literally, I literally was like, this could have been three records.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not two, three.
It's the
That's
longest album. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
dude. This shit is ridiculous.
It was
Okay.
supposed to be like a magnum opus,
So
kind of thing.
okay. So give me a little background on J Church because when I first heard the name, I avoided it because I thought it was a rapper. Just
Yo, this is Jay Church.
I really did, bro.
DJ
Bro.
Khaled.
Either like some like crunk rapper or like some
Right.
white guy
So
fucking jelly roll type rapper.
shout out Jelly Roll, man.
I,
Um,
I do stop it. You don't like Jelly Roll. Quit it.
I respect Jelly Roll, dude. I've seen videos of that guy, like from back when he was like a rapper dude, and like on the streets, in like Memphis and shit, just kicking it.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
he was a a D boy man. Like, but I mean, like he's full on MAGA dude. Like you ain't
Is
messing
he
with Jelly
really?
Roll.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I mean, um,
I don't know if
I,
he's full on MAGA, but
that's like a head
I'm pretty
scratcher.
certain that he leans that that he's in that camp.
Okay, well, whatever. I was trying to
But
give him. I was trying to give him more credit. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
well,
It's all right. So just so you know, J Church is a subway line that runs through San Francisco.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
And it was the line that the band lived off of in the city during their
okay.
time of living in San Francisco. They've lived in like three different places in their career as a
I
band.
like that. That's where the name comes from, though. That's cool. There's lore to that. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the band's deep with the history and stuff. So the origins of J Church was a band called Cringer, who was that formed in Hawaii in like 1985. That was the frontman Lance Han, who's a Chinese American guy. It was Chinese, right? Um, and another guy that was in the band. I think he played bass until like 1998. So he lasted with Lance. Like they stuck together through Cringer and then J Church until '98. And then Cringer moved to LA, and then they came up to the East Bay, where they put out a 7-inch on Lookout Records in
Oh,
1988.
nice. Well, they were
And
on lookout. I did not know
yeah,
that.
yeah. So they put a 7-inch out on Lookout in the late '80s. They played with Operation Ivy and Crim Shrine. And
That's
they
crazy.
were they were really tied into the whole Bay Area pop punk East Bay scene, you know. Um, and then in 1991, after Cringer broke up, they lost a band member and then formed J Church in '92. J Church then lasted from '92 until 2007 when Lance on the front man he had liver failure and passed away.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and the final incarnation of J Church was in Austin, Texas, actually.
Huh.
So Lance Han's girlfriend at the time got accepted into the University of Texas in Austin. So he moved there, um, and after One Mississippi was recorded, actually, I think around like 2002, and then sadly his apartment that he had a record label called Honey Bear Records. Honey Bear Records. Um, he had a fire, and then like all of his 7 inches and records and books that he was working on and stuff like that
Oh,
just burned down.
no.
Yeah, so he lost everything in a fire pretty much. Um, he died in 2007.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but the last incarnation of J Church featured someone from the band Severed Heads of State.
Okay, I know them.
Yeah, that I think they're a hardcore band from Austin, and then some other dude. And they put out their last record in 2007 on No Idea, and then he died shortly afterwards.
I have the one on No Idea. So
Yeah,
Man, when I was listening to this album, dude, this is like this is a 72-minute identity crisis, bro. Like,
It's a pretty
like,
deep album. It's very personal.
well, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I listened to the entire album like all the way through without stopping once, and then I listened to it like in sections.
Yeah.
One, like, I guess probably about another 1.3 or 1.5 times. One
Sure.
in it. So
Yeah.
I got a fair bit of listening to it in, and it was exhausting, man. I couldn't get there. I didn't find a good rhythm. Like the music is like enjoyable to listen to a degree, but it's so far from the kind of music that I
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was having trouble getting interested in it, which is
Uh-huh.
funny because I mean, some people don't understand this. I picked these albums. I wanted to listen to this. It
Right.
wasn't. I want to explore albums and get into stuff that I'm not familiar with, which is why I picked it. But before I go into any kind of negativity, I do want to say there's a couple of songs: "Sunshine," "Imaginary Friends," and
Yeah.
"I Reach for Her Hand."
Great songs.
Those three songs I really did enjoy a lot, and I do think if I'm able to spend a little more time on this with this record, I don't know when or how, but when I get that opportunity,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I would rather listen to this than something like Husker Du, because I think I've come to the conclusion they're just not for me.
Not for you. Okay.
Although with the addition of that first Jawbreaker record into my record collection now, I think I might have a little more or a little less distance to being a fan of Husker Du.
Right.
It's not like I really care a whole lot, but I am open to being a fan of almost any kind of stuff under the punk umbrella. Uh, but that Jawbreaker record was really good. But my point is that I can hear why you like this. Like I know you well enough now to be like, okay, I see why he likes this, because at first when you said something about Lower Class Brat, you're like, this isn't even the kind of punk I like. I was like surprised. And I was like, how can anybody listen to punk rock and then listen to that record specifically and not be like fully in, right? I don't know how much or if you've listened to that record or not. So that's a conversation we'll have in a few minutes.
I
But
did. I did. I listened to
um but I understand this is more your speed, man. Like that doesn't surprise me at all that
I
you like this.
well, here's the thing about this band. They're prolific as fuck. They have countless 7 inches. They were mostly like a 7 inch band for a long time, and all their material sounds different. Like they have stuff that's straight up punk. They have stuff that's like kind of artsy fartsy, acoustically.
Okay. Yes.
They're all over the map. I wouldn't even say all their stuff is good on this record.
I like that you're able to say that.
There's a couple of songs I skip over on this album, but the good songs hit hard. And the thing with this guy, as a lyricist, he's fucking fantastic, man. Like
I want to spend more time with the lyrics because I noticed, even with the minimal amount of time I spent right now, that the lyrics were quality.
Lance has a way with words that really profoundly impacted people, and because he spoke from a really honest place, and his voice isn't even, objectively he doesn't have a good voice. You know what I mean? Like he just sounds like some guy like with a guitar.
Okay, he does sound just like some guy, but like I didn't consider it bad.
No,
you did have a valid point though. The songs that are good, because how many times have you brought up jchurch on the streams? And I was like, this slaps, bro. This is awesome.
Right.
So I was expecting something more along the lines of like Nothington or early Menzingers or something like that, or whatever, or Off With Their Heads, D4, and it had more in common with Weezer, bro. Like, I mean, real talk, I heard Weezer throughout this whole record.
No, they have a lot of influences. So Lance Hahn,
I didn't know they were as old as they were. That's a much older band than I thought.
Yeah, Lance Hahn was born in 1967. So
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he's super old. Their second record, actually, that I really love a lot, called Arbor Vitae, was recorded by Frankie Stubbs of Leatherface.
Nice.
So Frankie Stubbs is also a producer, right? He's produced a lot of records. So jchurch went to the UK and recorded with him, in '95. So these guys are kind of like deep, like they've been around, they've been around for a long time. But I just think they were one of those bands that if you knew, you knew, right? If you liked it, you liked it. And with an album like One Mississippi, Lance Hahn is, this is like anarcho pop punk, but not like a Global Threat anarcho pop punk. These were the guys in the corner with the glasses that were like talking about philosophy and postmodernism
I mean,
and
a
shit like
global
that.
threat wouldn't be pop punk.
Well, I know. I mean, like like the anarcho side of
Okay,
things.
got you.
It's definitely highly intellectual, and like he makes references to stuff in history that I didn't even know about until like he mentioned them in the song, right? And now he's kind of educating me on these ideas and stuff. It's like, it's very nerdy, in
I
some
mean,
ways.
there's a place for that.
Yeah, there is, and I think with them, I kind of have a soft spot because of just how he embodies punk rock in his own special way. Like the guy lived it, you know what I mean? And like even after coming out of like heart failure and stuff like that in like 2000, like he played a show with a fucking IV strapped to his arm,
That's hard.
And there's like photos of it on the internet you can find, and the guy did dedicate his entire life to art and like the craft, and actually, side note, this record, One Mississippi, was released on an imprint of Fat Records called Honest Don's Records.
I know Honest Don's, they're great, or it was a
So
great label.
yeah, so like Fat Mike, I think that was an imprint of Fat that he would put out some bands. It only lasted about a year or so, from what I know.
Yeah, well,
But
I was a young kid when I heard about Honest Don's.
it was to release bands that he didn't think would fit on the Fat roster. And I think that he had a lot of love for jchurch, and was like, hey man, you guys are legends in the Bay Area and with punk and all this shit. So, I'm gonna put out this album for you, and he did. So, you know. But if you look at jchurch's later stuff, like the one that was released on No Idea in 2007, it's a straight ahead punk rock record, man.
Which one?
It's called The Horror of Life.
Hold on, write that down.
Yeah, and so this is definitely more of an experimental concept album in my mind.
I think you're probably right about that.
So
Look,
anyway.
like I said, the songs are objectively good. I don't have like some kind of, I don't know. I was just, when I was listening to it, I couldn't get over the fact that it was so fucking long, dude. It was,
Yeah,
I mean, you know
yeah,
me, dude. I don't like
I
long
know,
songs, dude. I hate
I
long
know.
records, man.
But each song is about 2 minutes. There's just a lot of them.
Well, no,
That's the thing.
dude, every time a song ended, I was like, oh, that must be the last song. I did that shit like 15 times.
Yeah,
I was like, okay. And I finally like looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
yeah,
It's just too much, man. Too much material. The music is very, like I said, dude, earlier, it was an identity crisis album because you said it was like it was avant garde and it was their magnum opus. I kind of understand that. I don't even disagree.
yeah.
But I also call it an identity crisis because it can't figure out what the hell it is. Dude, I heard so many different bands in that one album. Like, dude,
It's true.
and I heard I
It's true.
was not kidding when I said I heard Weezer. I heard Weezer throughout that whole record, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
So what are your favorite tracks on here?
Oh my god. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let's see. Let's go to the track list. Okay. No Jazz, the second song, New York Times book review. I love Sunshine. That's a great song.
That one was probably my favorite one.
That song is pretty much about like being on meth in San Francisco and just like being really depressed.
If you're gonna be in San Francisco,
it's a dark song. I liked Where the Trains Go also, which is a song about some guy that hooks up with sex workers all the time and is still empty.
that'll happen if you do that.
Yeah. Imaginary Friends is a great song. It's about a young woman with like
That was one of
mental
mine that I
health
liked.
problems, and it's a really cool song. I Reach for Her Hand is a great song. Rich, Young, and Dumb is a good song, and I like Christmas Lights is a good song.
Okay, so all the ones that I liked, you had on your list too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them in there. I'm just like, okay, like we can skip this one,
I feel like there's a good 11 or 12 song album in here somewhere hiding.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'm doing a video on that Rancid 2000 where I'm going to put together like what I would consider like a really great EPs worth of music off of
Yeah,
it from like the recording sessions, but it'll be a volatile conversation. I would imagine people are going to be pissed, but this wasn't like a bad record. I just
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, either you get it and like it resonates with you, or you just, you know, maybe it'll one day you'll appreciate it if you care,
Right.
you know. But like with me, it's like I was kind of introduced to this band at the right time in my life, and I feel like, you know, I just kind of like how honest and earnest his voice is, and there's something about them that's just very like stripped down, and like, you know, they're not like attractive. Like if you look at this guy, he's like a short, pudgy Asian man.
I saw a picture of him and I was like, huh.
Yeah, and it's like he's not the kind of guy you would, you know, imagine being in a punk band, but like, you know, he's just as punk, if not more punk than the rest, you know. And anyway, it's one of those things.
It's interesting because I think that punk can be like, if you take you and I as an example, there's a stark difference between what I typically do and how I dress and the bands I listen to, and what you typically do, the bands you listen to, kind of how you dress a little bit. Yet, if you were to ask both of us separately, like, hey, what are you into? We'd both be like punk rock.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong answer. I don't know that there necessarily is. Other than like, I think there is some stuff that definitely is not, if that makes any sense. But I don't see how anybody could argue with either of us on that topic.
Right.
And I think that this music is a great example of that. I think it's really interesting how this stuff falls under the umbrella of punk, and it's just such a wildly different music than what I ever heard as a kid. I think when I was a teenager, bro, I would have thrown this shit out the window. I wouldn't have listened to it at all. Well,
No,
I mean,
totally.
it's taken me half my life to get to where I like a little bit more.
Right.
Well, avant-garde's a great word, actually. A little bit more of an avant-garde sound, and it's still pretty hard even now.
I mean, I like artsy stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what I'm drawn to, you know. I mean, I like the stuff that's not like that too, right? But like, it's funny, you were on that Jawbreaker podcast earlier with Rob, right? Which you guys did a great job.
That album was so good, dude. I couldn't believe it.
It's a very good record.
Dude, I was flabbergasted, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
There's one thing I did want to say. Jawbreaker's sound changed quite a bit throughout their career, but also their last record wasn't a complete flop. Like, it's a cult classic, right? And
yeah, but it didn't come out and come. It wasn't a classic when it dropped, though. That's why.
Yeah,
it was a financial flop, but it's become it's exactly what a cult classic is. It comes out,
right,
flop, and then it gets a cult status later on. That's how
it
movies
was.
Do
it was supposed to be Green Day, you know, but it didn't have even close to the amount of success that Green Day had.
You're talking about Dear You, right?
Yeah, Dear You, correct.
So that album is how I was introduced to Jawbreaker. So when I heard Unfun, I was shocked. I was
like, how the fuck is this the same band?
Yeah, bro, I was like, this is crazy. But I was also like, hey, this is the bridge between Green Day and Husker Du for me. Like, that sound is like those two bands kind of mixed together a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is how I could get into that other band by possibly by liking this album. But I was happy that I listened to it, and I don't know. I told Rob, I think I'm just changing because I used to hate that Green Day record too, and I listened to it and I was shocked. I was like, huh.
The Dookie, or which one?
No, 1039 Smooth was the
one. Oh
we
yeah,
did. Yeah. We did like,
that's a great record.
We did 35 years of Green Day, 35 years of Jawbreaker was our idea.
But the reason I brought up Jawbreaker was because their drummer played on this jchurch record, One Mississippi.
No shit, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So jchurch lost their drummer, and then they got the guy from Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker was done by this point. They fucking broke up. Right?
So crazy.
Jawbreaker's back together again, but they're just grabbing at money and playing festivals now.
Hey, good for them, dude. I think all those bands that are around in the anytime between 1990 and 2000, they should do that because a lot of them.
There's a demand for them, you know what I mean?
Well, they had to rough it, man. For a lot of years, they didn't make as much as they could.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just different, man. You didn't make as much money. It was like you did twice the work 100%. For half the money. So you can go capitalize on a fucking on a fest in 2025 and
100%.
Make a little bit of bread, and then maybe go back in the studio or something, like, because that's what I look at it like. I go, okay, are they creating an opportunity? Oh, they are? Well, then good. Go
Right.
do it, man. Go do
Right.
that. Make your money. And I don't care if the opportunity is you live more comfortably, you take care of your family, or you're creating art. I
For
like all
sure.
those things. I like all that. That's all good. So,
So I saw Jawbreaker in 2000 what 17
oh,
maybe.
word.
Yeah. And they played in San Francisco, and it was a sold out show. They played like 2 nights at the same venue, and
Nice.
they played the hits, for everybody, and but like with bands like this, I'm just like, okay, sure, you have every right to come back and play these songs again, but like, write some new material for fuck's sake, I mean, you're not obligated to, but
Wait,
like,
Jawbreaker?
yeah, or any band that's like,
Dude, that wouldn't look, man. In my personal opinion, if they came back and they played 16 songs, or let's say 12 songs, whatever their set list is like, and they had 2 of those songs that weren't hits, people would be livid. Dude, that's 2 songs they could have played that, because I mean, the hits are going to also include deep cuts because people are going to
yeah,
want. So, but I like new material. Now, I think they should do like a whole ass set and then have like an opening song as a new track and maybe an encore that's a new track then a hit and then close the night. But I mean, I know how to promo. I'm a PR guy. Like that to me, it's like perfect packaging. Open with a new song, like come out,
Yeah.
hey guys, what's up? We got a new song for you to hear. Boom, new track. They're hyped. They're like, let's go. They get the new song, all the hits. Go inside, change shirts, clean up for a second, come back outside, do a hey, we got one more new one, and then we're gonna close for you guys. And then close with like the banger of all bangers, and then everybody's happy.
yeah.
If I was going to do 2 new tracks or something, that's what I would do.
I don't.
I'm not an artist. What am I talking about? But
No,
that's what I
100%.
think that would go over well with the fans.
I don't think they're going to write any new material. I
Yeah.
think they're doing this to make a little bit of money, to like make up for all the lost fucking money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, we got fucked so hard by this label, and we got right through the coals during the time we were a band, and this is kind of a chance for us to actually see some more money.
Do they play any of the stuff off the first couple of albums? When they
No,
play live?
dude, they will not play anything off of Unfun.
Okay,
Like,
so I was because how could they? It would sound drastically different.
yeah, no, it's just his voice is different. I mean, he had like throat surgery and shit like that at some point in his career, and like all that raspiness. It's like his voice hit a new level of raspiness on the album that came after Unfun. Like, I don't think you'd like it very much.
No,
you give it a spin if you want. It's more experimental. It's a little bit more dark. It's it's a punk record, but some of it's less conventionally punk. I
mean, I don't even know that I call Unfun a punk record, but I've got a very narrow description of what punk rock is. Apparently,
it's a proper punk record. But I mean, I think not. But we're not talking about Jawbreaker. Sorry. The only reason that
we are.
The only reason I mentioned them was because their drummer played on this jchurch record.
That's pretty cool, though. What a strange little coincidence.
Well, I mean, Jawbreaker and jchurch were part of the same scene in the Bay Area punk scene, right?
That's pretty dope.
So they knew each other, that way.
What do you grade this album on a scale of 1 to 10 on jchurch?
Well, it's hard with albums like this because I don't like all the songs, but the songs I do like.
That's the question, though. It's like, okay, but how well do you like those other songs? Are they good enough to give it like an 8 out of 10?
Are the songs that I like good enough to carry the record and for me to give it this lofty score, right?
Yeah.
The songs on this record that are incredible, are good. I give this record like a 7.5.
Okay.
For that reason, because the songs that I like are really good. They rank very highly among my favorite songs.
So how many skippable tracks are on here for you?
Oh, Jesus. Let's see here.
That's a bad sign.
I mean, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Damn.
6, 7, 8. 9. Probably 9.
So
9 songs.
So then it should get a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, if we're going by math,
I'm just saying.
No, hey, I mean, if we're going by math standards, cool.
Yeah,
right?
that's typically how I grade mine. Is like if I got like 15 songs, but only one of them is a skip, I'm like it's probably somewhere around a 9. But if it's like 15 songs and 4 of them or 3 of them or whatever the number is, but I'm just being silly.
What would you grade
it? Dude, you don't want to hear my answer, man. Dude, like a fucking 3. Like. Cool. Right. Solely based on the length, it was so hard to get through. Like,
it's fair,
okay, so, but I'm notoriously not interested in like experimental albums,
right?
So, like, right. I will say this, like a objectively, I probably give it a much higher grade. I'd say it's probably somewhere around a 7, like you said. Like objectively, I think it's a really well made, well written, well recorded album. It's just not my personal taste.
Mhm.
So like I do take the time out of my day to grade things objectively if it's going to get a subjective low score from me, because I think it's only fair to be able to come
Yeah.
back and say, okay, well, like as an example, like with the Husker Du, the one that we listened to, because it was the one that I picked out. I gave that one like an objective low score as well, but I had reasons behind that. Everybody's not going to agree with that, but that was just my
Hmm.
score. I think
Hmm.
this one, I think I grade it personally a lot lower than it really is,
Right.
and so
I
you
didn't think
know,
that you'd like this record. I mean, I'm like, just knowing you and kind of your taste, I'm
yeah,
like, Randall's probably not going to be feeling it too much.
quite a few good songs though.
Um,
Enough stuff to put on some. I put a few on the playlist.
yeah, yeah. I think this is a band that, they should get their flowers. I think they deserve kind of their place, and I mean, they're a popular enough band, and I think legendary in their own right that there was a tribute record done to them
No
after,
kidding.
yeah, when Lance was sick, in the hospital with like liver failure and shit.
That
Like
sucks.
a bunch of bands that you like and we like that we all know got
All that
together and
horrorcore stuff.
recorded. Yeah, a lot of the orcore bands, as you know, probably love jchurch. So, it's like a 25 song album. Let's do it for Lance to like raise money for his hospital bills.
Wait, how
Um,
many songs are on One Mississippi?
26.
There was less songs on the tribute album.
Well, it was just they covered jchurch songs. It
I
wasn't
know.
from
I'm
one
just
record.
being facetious,
No, I know. This
but
this
like,
this is a long album. I mean, like I
yeah.
said, I don't,
Shout out J Church, man. It's not,
yeah,
dude. It's objectively good, man. Like you've probably played 10 songs on the streams, and
uh,
I've liked every single one of them. Which
uh,
is why when I saw that, I was like, hey, let's do this one.
dude,
And
I'm one
I
of like
like
5 jchurch fans that probably exist, in the world.
well,
So
you know what I like? I like that I brought it up and you weren't like, oh, I don't think you'll like it. You were just like, cool, let's do it. Like I like that because I don't want to know. I just want to listen to it.
yeah,
I think a lot of folks have the wrong idea about me, and I'm having a good time with like the
yeah,
below the surface viewers that are like, no, dude, I like what's happening here because
totally,
I enjoy it. It's a fun time, and I also kind of like the people that get all pissy. Makes me laugh. Fucking,
yeah.
man, fucking this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm
You
like,
gotta
yeah,
love the haters.
I definitely don't know what I'm talking about. That is for sure.
Cool. Well,
Dude,
like I
wait till you
said,
see the records I got picked out for our next one. I think you'll be surprised, and I definitely think people will enjoy them. I know one of them you're gonna freak out and be like, yes.
no, I have to
But
know.
let's see. Oh, I'll tell you in just a minute, sir. Okay.
Rob seemed to know quite a bit about Jawbreaker, actually.
Rob knows quite a bit about a lot of stuff, honestly. That dude's like, he's a goober, but that guy's got a pretty deep knowledge about the stuff he knows about. He knows quite a bit about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, he kind of, yeah, he knew what he was
He
talking
reads
about.
a lot. I
Right,
mean,
I could tell.
he's a teacher.
Right.
But dude, I am 100% gonna come out and go to Gilman Street. Already got the okay from the wife.
Come to a good show.
Well,
Gilman's
yeah.
not the place it used to be, though, right? I mean,
No, I just want to be in the building and check it out and like
right.
be around the area and just take some
Yeah,
photos outside. Like, uh,
it's kind
where
of
is
past its heyday. You know what I mean?
yeah, but not for somebody like me. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying? I literally
totally.
have a piece of the wall on my shelf.
Yeah, no. Just
Yeah,
don't sit on the
so
couch. Whatever you do, do not sit on the couch at Gilman.
I would never sit on a couch at Gilman.
You go get scabies or some
Yeah,
shit like
I
that.
assume that it's got like a big thick layer of semen, just
Sure, yeah, all sorts of shit.
of
It's
just a
like
sheen across the top of it. Okay. That's gross in a good way, but it is fucking gross.
pretty gross. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's from time to time there's bigger shows at Gilman nowadays, but nowadays it's just like one-off kind of, like your first band, gets a show at Gilman on like Thursday night.
I need to find out a
Um,
good show and just schedule it for the summer.
yeah, I'll find stuff too. I'll take a look around and see what's
Cool.
playing.
Sweet. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Dude, it's like every time I film now, it's like, what do you want? Somebody needs something. Yeah, dude. All the bands that we just mentioned, the Strap-Ons and Complete Control. Like I don't know if you watched my top Texas bands video, but Complete Control is one of my favorites, dude. They didn't have a lot of stuff out there, but that band, they have a very similar vocal style to Pistol Grip, and I love Pistol Grip.
Yeah,
so.
Pistol Grip is good. Pistol Grip is good. I like I said, Pistol Grip. I really enjoy that songs in C sharp, whatever the hell.
That's like an underrated album. That one might end up on Deep Cut soon.
I mean, I think it's I don't want to use the word experimental, but it's different than a straight ahead street punk.
That's what I'm saying. It's got like it's got dark. A little. It's like almost touching the Cold Oi sound a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, which I love that. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like all the reverb on the guitars and melodic but dark.
Dark is the right word.
A little bit artsy, just a little bit.
Yeah. I like that, man. This album was very fast, very in your face.
Yeah.
It was I don't know, man. So I wrote down a couple of songs. Oh, very, very much filled with attitude, man. Insult to Injury, Sex and Violence, Psycho, and The Hand We're Dealt are all songs that, like, okay, full disclosure, every single song on this record I like. Like, there wasn't anything that I would want to skip or cut from it. But those four were probably my favorites on the album. But I really like his vocal style. It's very mid-range. Like there's not like a high-pitched snarl to it, but it's also not like some low gurgle. It's like a real good mid-rangey. You can hear what he's saying, but he's clearly yelling it.
Yep.
Very, very solid vocal performance. I liked all the songs that had guitar leads in them. I'm a guitar lead guy. I like Chuck Berry's one of my favorite guitar players, so I like that twangy rock and roll guitar sound is like my jam. That's why I like Lars Fredrikson's guitar playing so much. He very much models himself after Chuck Berry and maybe a little bit of the stuff that Motorhead was doing, but not really in the lead department, more so the riffage.
The riffage, yep, for sure.
But what you like or dislike about this record? Anything in particular?
I like the straightforwardness of it. I like the fact that it's kind of just like, no frills rock and roll record, and
I do too.
And I mean, it's in stark contrast to jchurch, right? I mean, it's like
honestly, yes,
like on the one hand, or anything like that, or it's not. It's like the antithesis of that, It's like if this is this is that, Which,
dude, I mean, look, dude, how funny is it that these two records came out around the same time and they so absolutely represent you and I so well, because they do.
Right. There's some crossover there. We both, I mean, it's like it's a Venn diagram, and at times, I mean, I was thinking about it too when I was listening to this band. I'm like, you know what, like. There's a high probability that a band like this shared a stage with jchurch at one point, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, I would think
Rancid and jchurch played shows together. Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's kind of like back then. You didn't really separate as much by these like scenes and genres. Like,
no, there was no reason to.
A pop punk band would play with like a fucking 77 street punk band, or like fucking ska band. Like everyone just played together, man. And that was the beauty of it, though. But like. I don't know if you were a kid and you remember this, but like growing up in California, it's like I'm 15, 16, my mom drops me off at a show. Not 16. I was probably like 15. But my mom would drop me off at like the teen center. I'd be at the show and I'd get a ska band, I'd get a pop punk band, I'd get a hardcore band. Like I get everything, in the span of like one night. And I'm just like, this is so cool, Anyway.
I have a poster on my wall at my store, and I think it's from 2001. I might be wrong on the year, but it was when I was still a teenager. And it's Mighty Mighty Boss Tones headlining. Fucking Sum 41 and Flogging Molly were the opening acts.
It should have been the other way around, man. Wait, no. I take that back.
No. No, dude, Boss Tones were headlining that tour. How crazy!
Right.
How crazy is that at some point those two bands opened up for Boss Tones? When right now I would say that those two bands are far bigger.
Right? Yeah. But that's kind of what. Yeah.
That was a really, really, really good show. I remember that. But that's an example of like a night where you get an incredibly diverse lineup.
Yeah.
And a band like Lower Class Brats would have fit right in on this, man. But I like the fact that this is a like just rebellious, straight to the point, like there's still storytelling. It's funny because you can actually take the lyrics to The Hand We're Dealt and Psycho. And if you reworked them a little bit, you could put those behind a softer, more I don't know what you call it, jchurch's sound, okay? It would fit just fine because
Right.
topically they're very similar. It's just the delivery is far different, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But
I mean, I could tell. I couldn't tell if this band was apolitical, political. But I kind of feel like
no, they're snotty in your face. Like you, dude, it's crazy. I had to cut a part out of the interview because, and I'm not going to tell anybody what it was either. You can ask me all you want. I'm not going to tell you. But like, I made an executive decision just because it was a joke, but it would have ruffled some feathers. But he straight up says on the interview, like, "Hey, dude, punk rock is a inherently liberal movement. Like, if you can't get behind that, like, you know, we were talking about how all this like alt-right punk shit, quote unquote, is such a crock of shit because it just doesn't exist. Like it's just not real. You can't have those beliefs and views and be into punk rock. You just can't. Like
the conservative punk thing to me makes no sense at all.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm like how can you do you listen to the words in the songs you like, bro, by the artists you listen to?
Their whole thing, in my opinion, at least as far as I can understand it, is that they're taking it as counterculture equals punk when that's not what it is. Because right now, conservatism or whatever the word is, that conservative lifestyle, it kind of is counterculture because the world as a whole sees that as kind of like nonsense. And so those people aren't the majority at this point, and they're not the people that are talking. They're not controlling the media and this and that, right? But that doesn't mean it's bad that they're not in charge. I personally like that, but it is kind of counterculture. But that doesn't mean it's punk rock. Like punk rock stands for something. You know, counterculture and punk aren't interchangeable. You can't just switch those words in and out, and it means the same thing. That's not true. Like anything can be counterculture. You could call Christian is counterculture if you want to be honest about it. That doesn't mean it's punk rock. So,
yeah, I mean,
those people are weird, dude. They're deluded, bro. They're like, it drives me nuts, man.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. But no, I did some songs that stuck to mind on this record for me. Airwave Raid, I like that.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the first song, Sex and Violence. Beat of a Different Drum was also
okay. Yeah, very good song.
Those are the three that stuck out to me the
most
on the record. But I really enjoyed it. It was a very quick listen compared to obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing is after listening to J-Church for a little while, like going and getting a good fast 30-minute rock and roll record is going to be like a pretty nice change of pace, I would think.
That's for sure.
Yeah, dude. I really enjoyed the record. I listened to it a few times because I was like, man, I hadn't heard this in a while, and I actually just got a let's see. Well, I'm not going to waste your time looking for it, but somewhere around here I have a CD copy of it that I just bought.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. Because I was at that. Dude, I don't know where the hell it went. It might be at my store. I was listening to it this weekend at the shop. But I was at the show. I went and saw Lower Class Brats with Coughing Cats, the Drowns, and Liberty and Justice. Dude, it was shoulder to shoulder packed from the opening band. Like it was crazy, bro. And dude, they are so good still. Lower Class Brats. Like they're so good at playing.
They still got it,
bro. When I was young, I would see them play all the time, and I wasn't, like I said, I used to kind of dismiss them based solely on the cover art or the artwork with being associated with the Clockwork Orange stuff. It just wasn't my jam. But even back then, I remember having a good time at the shows, and I probably should have just invested. Whatever. I don't know. It just feels weird. Okay. There's these bands that I should have listened to all this time, and
what do you mean should have, man? It happens when it happens. There's no should have.
I mean, yes, that's true. I'm just saying, like I look at it and go, damn, I should have been listening to them this whole time, bro. Like, I shortchanged myself on that, but
you're preoccupied with other stuff,
The I literally, I think I give this album like a 9.5 because it's exactly what I want. Like, there's the only thing out of it that I wish I could get out of it is a little bit more
songs.
Do what?
Like you want it to be longer.
I wanted it to have 17 more songs. No, I was thinking that if it had a little bit maybe like one good like chanty anthemic. They don't really do the anthemic stuff. They're not like
Nah.
they don't they, you know they're more of a straight up rock and roll in your face. They got a
There's
little
some woes in
background.
there. They got some woes, you
Yeah, a
know.
little bit, yeah. But I wanted like a big chanty anthemic song. But like that's really me reaching. Like that's me
Yeah.
going, okay, what can I make a
Yeah.
complaint out of to not warrant a 10 out of 10? And I
9.5
think
is
it's
not
dude,
damn perfect.
it is damn near perfect. I mean, the record is awesome. You have to really dig deep, in my opinion, to find a complaint. And this is the kind of record you could put on at a party. It's great background music. You can put it on when you're hanging out with your buddies, doing something. You
Mm-hmm,
could.
mm-hmm.
This is a really great kind of this kind of music in general is really great when you're driving, especially if you're not driving long distances. You're going somewhere. It's cool to like cruise down the neighborhood or whatever, go down the whatever, go to the store, blasting some fucking lower class brats with the windows down. People are like, "What is this dude listening to?" You're like, "That's right, motherfucker." Like shit you don't like, fuck out of
Totally.
here. Uh,
Totally.
I remember distinctly listening to like street punk music really, really loud. Like U.S. Bombs used to really rile people up. People were like, "What the fuck is this shit?" I'm like, "Fucking
Yeah, his
Scanner
voice,
Tater."
his voice is very, like the like snotty kind of
I'm
snarl.
a snarly vocals type dude. I love the like. I mean, like Richard from Bullshit Detector, Tim and Lars, dude. Dwayne Peters. These are my favorite vocalists, dude. I
Yeah.
like, but then I also kind of like, I like pretty singers because I like Jack Dalrymple and Brian Fallon from
Yeah.
Gaslight is like probably my favorite singer.
Jack's got a great voice.
Oh, his voice is so good, dude. But
Um,
I like Bones' vocals a lot, actually, man. Like I had forgotten that he had a kind of a good mid-range, throaty, ballsy vocal style.
yeah, it's very snotty. It's very fuck you. You know what I
Dude,
mean? Which is cool. It's I like that about
you
it.
can tell when you listen to him talk, like he's a really fun dude to talk to. Like we got
Yeah,
along immediately. Like we don't know each other like that. You
sure.
wouldn't know it. He's super cool, man. Shout out Bones. That guy
Is he
was
the
so rad.
vocalist? He's the
Yeah,
vocalist.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
The one of the dudes, Ron Conflict from Final Conflict plays with them too.
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna.
played with them not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get Ron to come on the show. He was really cool. We talked in the at the show for a little while before I went home.
they're from Southern California though.
Well, if you listen to according to Bones, they are always will and always have been a Texas band because they're from Texas. They started in Austin.
They might have moved. Who knows?
They moved to California like way later. I thought they moved there early in their career, but it was way later in their career.
Okay.
And Bones is like, no, we are a Texas punk band. I was so proud. Like, let's fucking go, dude.
No, I was talking about Final Conflict.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I think they are a California band.
Yeah,
I'm over here tripping out about Texas. Fucking Texas.
Texas, bro. Let's go.
Man, look, ain't no place perfect. It's not, including Texas, but
Right.
I like my home. Like I can't imagine not being able to like look, I'm not like a redneck type. I like guns because I like to protect myself. So I can't imagine being in a place where I couldn't have guns and not be too concerned about it.
I mean, people have them here too. It's just not like the South where you fucking
I
got
was
one
like,
in your
I was
glove
gonna tell you
compartment.
it's not the same because it's not.
Yeah.
Like we literally have like sheriffs that'll come to your house and like tell you like, hey, if somebody comes in your yard and they're starting a ruckus, just blow their fucking brains out and give us a call. It's like, fuck yeah, man. Like you don't come to my house and start shit. Like I also am all for like some kind of like everybody doesn't have a gun. I'm okay with that too. Like I'm only into guns because I want to protect my family because everybody's got them. I'm also okay with if like how London does it, although they got a lot of knife crime out there, but uh
Yeah, people get stabbed a lot in the UK.
right. I don't know that there is a really good answer to all this. I think their guns are kind of a necessity in our country right now. But if there was a way to fix that and get rid of all of it,
Yeah.
I am for that. I want to be very clear that if there was a way we could do that realistically, I would sign
Right.
that dotted line. I have no problem with that. But Texas is a weird place, man.
Well, we all got to be from somewhere.
I don't have a whole lot else to say about these records, man. It was a good listen. Okay. So, what about I got 2 records that hit 25 years this year that I didn't even think about, dude. I just happened to see them and was like, whoa.
What do you got?
Okay, I got a band that I notoriously don't like, so I'm kind of excited to dive in.
Okay.
15.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The album is called Survivor. It came out in 2000. And then we got one that I am 100% sure you'll like. Horsebox came out in 2000.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah,
Let's go, dude! I love that record so much.
it's a very good record. It's
So,
probably
like,
my favorite Leatherface record.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Actually,
Spoiler
no,
alert,
it's not.
folks.
It's Mush. Mush is my favorite Leatherface record.
Well, spoiler alert, people. We're gonna give that one a glowing review, I would think.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get some.
Hey, buddy.
Parker.
Yeah, it is Parker. What you doing, Crazy Bear? You didn't get it for him?
Oh, no.
You can go grab it for him.
By the way, it's still out of time.
Okay, just bring it to me.
All right.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So, what was the other one you said? Mush.
Mush was their like that's their like highly acclaimed record.
Okay. I don't even know if I've ever heard Mush. I've heard Cherry Knoll. I've got.
I did not know it was that late. I did not know it was this late.
It's okay.
You haven't heard Mush, dude? You gotta.
I don't know if I've heard Mush or not. If I haven't, I will listen to it soon.
Oh, you're gonna fucking lose your mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. That came out in '91, and it's the perfect album. It's to me like a 10 out of 10 record.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I love this band, so I'm not shocked that they have an album that's a 10 out of 10. But
it's one of my favorite punk rock albums of all time. If yeah, it's like top like 3 for me for sure.
That's crazy.
Listen to it, man. Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's crazy. That's your top 3 ever.
Leatherface Mush, man. It's iconic, and like the way it's produced, the guitars, like the songwriting, the length, like it's a perfect album, man.
That's wild.
It's I mean, like Horsebox is great too. It's just a different band. Like, it came out much later than Mush did.
That's nuts, dude. I will check that out for sure. So,
please,
yeah, Leatherface Horsebox, Leatherface Horsebox. Good grief, 15 Survivor, coming up in a couple of weeks. I got to do next week. Me and Rob are doing Mr. T Experience, and I think the Queers. So some Ramones core stuff. So
and we should do one stream with you, me, and Rob.
I was running that by him. We got to figure out a day sometime in April because that'll be my 2-year anniversary for the channel.
Yeah. And then maybe, we can just like shoot the shit about, I don't know.
We just talk about punk rock for like an hour. It wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Cool. Awesome.
Pick a topic and just kind of vamp on it,
Dude, we all 3 have very different styles within the same, big group of bands. So it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I got some packing to do, and I still got to film this record haul. It's gonna trip people out a little bit, but yeah, man. I'll talk to you soon, bro, and I'll shoot you some messages when I'm in LA, and then we'll figure out when I can come out to your part of the country. Oh, he's out. Can you hear me? There we go.
No, I pulled my headphones out and muted. No, yeah, let me know, dude, when you want to come, and I'll make the time.
In between Punk Invasion and Punk Rock Bowling, let's like look and see what's going on out in that area, and we'll see what we can figure out. And if I can do it on like a 2-day thing, think I could crash at your pad for one night?
I'll have to talk to my housemate about that.
Okay. But, if not, I should know in advance so I can get a hotel or something. But if it's a hotel, it'll probably be like one night. If it's I'm not tripping. It ain't no thing. But I just
what were the dates again? My bad.
I don't know yet. Whatever dates you want. Just
okay.
Yeah, like sometime in the summer. Whenever a good show would be.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I mean, if I need to get a hotel room, I get a hotel room. I ain't tripping. The more places I can go and save money, the more places I can visit. So I'm just always thinking like that. But I'm genuinely not tripping, dude. I don't want to impose, and I certainly don't want to make I forgot you had a roommate.
That makes total sense. I just don't live alone. That's the problem. Right? I need to check.
No, for sure, bro. I completely forgot you had a roommate. All right, everybody. We're going to be back with Leatherface and 15, and then look out for me and Rob doing some Ramones core stuff, and then I'll be vlogging the crap out of LA, vlogging out of Las Vegas, and then eventually I'll be up in the Bay Area hanging out, visiting places that, like, dude, I got to go see some of these places that are in Rancid songs. Like, I just want to go stand on the corner and take photos. Like, I'll
take you. I'll take you to all the.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us a little while. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take it easy. Keep us sleazy. Peace.